Premier David Eby announced new supports for fruit growers in the province.
We announced a $70 million replant program to respond to some of those challenges. It's not enough.
One of the changes is a 10% increase to the agri-stability program, which the province estimates will be a $15 million direct payment to farmers in the region who have had their crops affected by harsh weather conditions. The province also adding an extra $5 million towards the Tree Fruit Climate Resiliency Program, while also acknowledging the recent closure of the BC Tree Fruits Cooperative.
This is a rule that 50% of the product that's processed on agricultural land has to come from the farm where the processing site is located. We will provide an exemption to that rule specific to the tree fruit sector to respond to the collapse of the co-op so that the crops this year can be processed, packaged, and stored.
And while we appreciate the provincial government's efforts, it's also time to acknowledge the federal government needs to step up and provide the necessary support for our industry.
Premier Eby says he also has reached out to the Prime Minister for federal aid, requesting a 2-year stay on advance payment loans that farmers may have received. The Premier also requested that the feds review the subsidy framework that takes place in the United States so that local farmers can compete on a level playing field.
And then our farmers are expected to compete on what's called a level playing field under the free trade agreements. When it's clearly not level, one group of farmers is being subsidized and one isn't. And to ensure that our farmers are at least on a level playing field, because if there's a level playing field, our farmers can compete with the best in the world.
I still think that the BC government has fell quite short of giving immediate relief to directly impacted farmers.
Jennifer Diol from There and Back Again Farms in Kelowna says she has lost upward of 95% of her crops and had to take a full-time job to keep her business afloat. She says these changes are a step in the right direction, but they do not help the smaller local farms as opposed to the larger tree fruit growers.
What we need right now has not been addressed. We need access to bins. We need access to our storage facilities. I mean, we're part of a cooperative. These are joint assets. And mid-season, weeks away from harvest, we were denied all of that. So what we needed from them, we did not get.
In Vancouver, Joe Sadowski, City News.